Hollow Knight, the first game of Team Cherry. It is one of the best Metroidvanias in recent time, famously known for having a sequel that comes out next year. Hopefully, keep praying. Exploring Hollow Nest usually takes a normal player about 15 to 20 hours, but speedrunners have managed to complete the game in a little bit over 30 minutes. So how do they do it? Well, as we will see, it is all about precision, patience, and a lot of tricks and skips. This is the speedrunner technique for Hollow Knight. Menu dropping is one of the most iconic tricks in Hollow Knight, and it is also maybe the easiest one to perform. To do a menu drop, just well, open the inventory while falling and close it as soon as you touch the floor. That's it. It may sound lame and silly, but this trick makes the knight fall faster, and it also cancels the stun animation once you hit the ground, so performing the menu drop consistently during the whole run saves up a lot of time. The edge cancel could be considered a distant cousin of the menu drop, as it also revolves around falling fast and cancelling the landing stun animation. Basically, you just have to land on the very edge of platforms, and once you land there, move into the edge so the knight keeps falling. It doesn't seem like it, but it is actually quite easy to pull it off with enough practice. Finally, the last trick we'll review in this video is also very circumstantial, but I think it's useful to know. The ceiling boost happens when you dash into a specific kind of ceiling, and the knight slides instead of colliding with it, and gains speed and momentum. Now we'll move to the skips, the primary thing pro players do in Hollow Knight. To begin with, I'd like to talk about something that is not technically a skip, but still helps to save up quite some time. In Hollow Knight's patch 1.221, which is the one you should be playing if you want to speedrun the game, by the way, the second boulder you encounter right at the entrance of Green Path can be insta-killed, but only if you do it in a certain way. Once approaching the boulder, you want to stop right here at this point, turn back, and fireball once towards the boulder. After waiting for a second or so, the enemy will be mysteriously dead and you'll be able to keep advancing. There are 3 fireball skips in Green Path that consist of quick casting fireballs in the opposite direction you are heading to reach platforms you usually wouldn't be able to. To perform them, jump towards the platform you want to reach, and a little bit after the maximum height of your jump, turn around and quick cast a single fireball or 3 of them in case you are performing the Hornet one. If you miss them, do not worry, as there are backup strategies or routes to keep going, but practice enough and you won't need any backup. And speaking of it, the Hornet Fireball skip, also known as Fireball Skip 2, is not mandatory for the run, but you still need to get to that platform somehow. And that's when the Mosquito backup comes in. To perform it, just drop on this platform, jump towards the Mosquito to grab its attention, and move up here. Do a little jump to prompt the Mosquito's attack, and then immediately jump right to position yourself. If you have done this correctly, the Mosquito will hit the low end of the platform and you'll be able to poke off it to reach the other side. If you fail this backup, do not worry, as exiting and re-entering the room will reset and you'll have another chance. The Vengeful Fly quick kill requires to have a full soul gauge to properly perform it. To save the Mighty Prince Zote, begin a jump between these 2 little rocks and move a little bit to the left. At the height of the jump, quick cast twice the Vengeful Fly, then swing once your nail and quick cast again. If done correctly, it will be enough to end the dangerous creature before the fight even begins. Deep in the Fungal Wastes there is a scary mandatory skip that must be performed to advance in the any percent route, known as the Explosion Pogo. If you want to achieve it, you must drop from this platform and move a little bit to the left to this spot. Then wait for the Fungal Explosive, and when it approaches you and comes to this spot more or less, jump and pogo twice off of it. One from the projectile and another one from the explosion itself. Placement on this one is crucial, as going too close to the explosive will prevent you from pogoing twice and you'll get damaged in the process. In my opinion, this is one of the skips that you should practice the most before attempting a full run of the game. Upon entering the Mantis village, there is another skip that speedrunners use to get the Mantis claws pretty early on. This skip utilizes the flying mantis to get on a platform you shouldn't be able to reach. To perform it, drop into the village, quick cast the mantis and hit her once with your nail. Hit the lever, dash right, jump, and dash left to pogo off the flying mantis. If you struggle with this sequence of events, then just aim to position the flying mantis low enough so you'll be able to pogo them. This skip is actually quite smart. It revolves around getting killed on purpose so the knight is able to pogo off their own shade to reach the upper platform that leads to the blue lake. To do so, get killed by this bug after resting on the bench in front of Salubra's shop. Once you respawn, get the aggro of your shade and dash right to start wall jumping while you wait for your shade to come. After 5 to 6 jumps, dash on your shade, pogo off of it, and dash right to reach the platform and enter the blue lake. If you mistime it, or your shade does something weird, such as casting a fireball, then just sit again in the bench and repeat the process all over again. This one will feel easy compared to some other skips in the run. After acquiring the Dream Nail, there is a small skip that saves a couple of seconds in the C room. To perform it, mash the pause button before waking up in the C room and hold right. Once you've paused successfully the game, unpause it and dash twice onto the right. When the next room loads, let go of right and you'll start falling through the room. The Destructible Object Skip, or DO skip if you want to make it sound cooler, is a trick that involves pogoing this object on your way to the Watcher Knights. At the apex of your jump, pogo off of it and dash left to wall jump and reach the platform above. If you miss it, you'll have another opportunity to attempt the skip if you fail, using the other DO in the room, and if you also fail that one, then just exit the room, re-enter it, and come back to try again. Currently only doable in the 1.2.2.1 patch, the lever exploit allows for a quick ascent to the Watcher Knights. To perform it, wall jump on the right side of this room and nail upwards once you have reached the ceiling. If the hit animation appears below the door on this spot, it means you have not done it correctly. If the nail hits on this side, however, you'll hear a sound and the door will open. Then you'll have to reach the end of the room in pitch black, but that's another whole story. Finally, one of the last skips pro players usually perform in the Any% route is the Forgotten Crossroads acid skip and the Queen's Gardens acid skip. Both of them are played out identically. To do them, just jump into the acid and, right before hitting the deadly substance, dash onto the wall and charge a super dash. Once you release it, you'll be flying through the room just barely above the acid. And those are all the major skips and tricks Hollow Knight players use. So grab your nail, your mask, your lantern in case you're exploring the Deep Nest, and play this lovely game until Silksong releases and everyone can finally rest at peace. Anyways, thank you for sticking to the end. As always, I'll ask you to subscribe to Wild Rush, like the video and comment us your thoughts, and share the video with anyone who might be interested. And also, get involved in the community. Speedrunning is really fun, and I've been doing this series for a while, so if I've encouraged you to speedrun any game, I'm not the best at speedrunning, I'm not the best at explaining how things work, but get involved in the community and start practicing it in any game you like. It is really fun, and I encourage you to do it. But hey, I'll shut up for now. See you next week, until we meet again.